And welcome back to Thursday Thunder, now joined by Scott from Losi. And is this a new Super Baja Ray we have sitting here?
This is a somewhat new
There
Super
you
Baja Ray that we have here. If you guys tuned in last week, you'll remember that we announced the regular Baja Ray, or
Yes.
the 10 scale Baja Ray, and the 10 scale Rock Ray in bind and drive versions.
Right.
So now, as we mentioned last week, or hinted last week,
Yep.
this is the Super Baja Ray in a bind and drive version.
Mm-hmm.
So, same Super Baja Ray that you guys are used to.
Yep.
The crazy speeds, the crazy suspension. I mean, it's one of the baddest trucks on the planet. I know this is one of my favorite vehicles to drive this entire year, for sure. But now we have it in the bind and drive version, which we talked about last week, which allows you to basically bind it to any DSMR Spectrum radio that you may have. Like we mentioned last week, you and I are racers. We have 6Rs. We easily can bind this right to our 6R. Saves us about $50 when you buy it compared to the completely ready-to-run version. So just makes it easier for the people who do have radios and don't want the clutter of a radio that they're not going to use or spend the extra money.
Yeah, and I think the other cool thing is it introduces a new paint scheme, and
Absolutely.
it gives you another option. And you can always buy this, and then if you don't have a radio, buy any, like you said, DSMR Spectrum radio, kind of pick and go from there. Maybe buy something, a little bit upgraded from what would have came with the original Super Baja Ray.
Correct.
So.
And this comes with the SRS 6000 already installed, which is an AVC telemetry receiver, which you and I spoke about. The AVC kind of hit on that last week. And I'll do it again because this one...
a little more important.
It's a little more important because, we actually do get to play and have some fun here at the office sometimes. And we had this out front, and we had it over 70 miles an hour. So that's when the AVC definitely pays off. It kind of helps you tracking straight. Even when at 65 plus miles an hour, it's starting to pull a wheelie. So it definitely helps out. And when you guys watch a video for this later today, video is awesome. And you could really see the AVC working in the air, especially when the rear end starts to kick out. You could see the front end starting to correct and steer itself. And it's really cool. Good video.
Yeah, and that's something you don't have to use. It's kind of like with the plane guys with Safe and Safe Select. You don't have to use it. It's just there as a, I don't want to say crutch, but I mean, another good example, not to beat it to death, but when we were at the four-wheel jamboree in Pennsylvania, we were demoing this thing next to $100,000 monster trucks. You don't want to hit those. I mean, they beat them up, but they don't want it to get beat up by this. They want it to get beat up by them. So it's just a little extra thing to help dial it up if you're on a 2E, or if you're on a 6R, you just go in your menu, turn it up, or set it to a trimmer, which is what I do sometimes. So.
Yeah, and if you don't want it, like Kyle said, you just completely turn it off, and there's no AVC whatsoever. So that's a great thing about it.
Yep. So we'll have more info on this. If you're new to the Super Baja Ray, there's a ton of info on horizonhobby.com, towerhobbies.com. Check out YouTube. We have a ton of videos on this thing. This thing is crazy. I mean, it's a blast. It's a 1/6 scale. But when you're driving it, it's a very commanding, large-scale vehicle. You gotta be on your toes. So, so thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys same time, same place.